Hey. All right. Hi. I had to get myself situated. Well, hello everyone. I am Leslie Chapman, and I welcome you back to the Your Harris County Live. And yes, I'm able to do it today on Tuesday. Last week I wasn't able to do it on Tuesday. I had to do it on Wednesday, but Tuesday is my day to come and meet and share with you. And so welcome back to this live show. Your Harris County Live is the tribe of some of the coolest people in Harris County, in particular the Northwest Cypress area and surrounding. And we keep up with the latest trends in the areas, local hotspots, good eats, restaurants, outdoor and lifestyle activities, and real estate. So thank you for joining today. And today we are continuing our discussion on multifamily syndication. Last week I discussed how multifamily deals are structured, and that was a pretty lengthy video, but it had a lot of nuggets in there. So check it out if you haven't seen that video. But today we are talking all about the pros and cons of investing in multifamily syndication deals, as well as how to find them. Where do you go to learn more about these types of deals and get on a list so that you can at least get some deals coming your way? So if this is your first time viewing a video of me discussing multifamily syndication, or if you are unfamiliar with this type of investment, please go to my Your Harris County page on Facebook, Instagram, to view other videos, and YouTube. You can view other videos on this topic. This is my fourth week getting into it, so there's other topics that we talked about earlier on. So let's dive right in. We have already established that multifamily syndication is a way to invest in real estate passively. We also talked about what it means to be a passive investor versus a sponsor or an active investor. So now, what are the pros and the cons of this type of investment? We're going to start with the pros first. Okay, so first pro, it's a passive investment. The whole nature of it being passive means that you, as the investor, are not heavily interacting with the day-to-day operations. You're not managing the ship. You're not managing the asset. There's somebody else doing that on your behalf, and you are reaping benefits from it financially via cash flow. And when the property sells through appreciation, you get more equity out of it. You gain your interest. You gain from your investment that way. Point number two for a pro. It's managed by an experienced multifamily asset manager. So you're leveraging the expertise of someone who's done this before, someone who knows the process, someone who understands what's required for each step. You're leveraging their expertise, you're leveraging their connections, you're leveraging their ability to be able to work with all these different partners to keep the asset running or operating. And so that's another pro. Now, third pro is that you get access to bigger real estate deals. As we've talked about, for a few weeks now, this multifamily syndication allows you to be able to get into a larger deal than you could have otherwise gone on your own. Imagine you having to come up, you see a property that's $1 million, $1 million, and you're having to come up with the 30% out of your own, means versus sharing that responsibility with other partners who could come in and partner to put up the capital, and then you all reap, you reap from the spoils, you reap benefits from that. So access to bigger deals that you couldn't otherwise do on your own, or if you did it on your own, it may take you longer to be able to get those type of deals. Fourth point on the pro side is that there are no tenant phone calls to deal with or other landlord issues, landlord headaches. I can attest that sometimes being a landlord, it can get that way sometimes, but as a passive investor, you don't have to deal with any of that. Someone else is managing that with you, and in the case of multifamily syndication deals, teams of people are doing that on your behalf, so you don't have to deal with any of that. And then finally, for a pro, on the pro side, it's a simple way to add real estate into an investment portfolio. It's low touch for a passive investor. You put forth the money, you read, the documents that come your way, you have your discussions, you voice your concerns or, ask your questions, but pretty much that's it. You get the updates and then you stay on top of what's going on. And a good asset manager will keep you apprised of what's going on. And if they don't, you do your due diligence in following up and make sure they're telling you what's going on. So those are the pros for multifamily syndication investing. Next up, I want to get into the cons of multifamily syndication deals. Cons: you have no control over the property. None. I mean, the sponsor is kind of running the show. Consider them like the conductor in an orchestra, and they've got broker, they've got property manager, they've got insurance, they've got all these different tentacles or parts that they're staying in the midst of, and they're aware of what's going on to keep this going. But you don't, as a passive investor, have any control over that. I mean, they give updates, but you really have limited control. Second con is that you give up equity to the sponsor. Now, last week we talked in depth about the sponsors and the way that they earn fees. And for the work that they're doing, they're taking a considerable burden in terms of managing an asset, which is, and so they do get compensation for that. But then you also split the equity with the sponsor versus if you went into this deal on your own, all the equity would come to you. But then again, it could take a lot longer for you to get into a larger deal if you did it on your own. Third con is reliance on the sponsor to manage the asset properly. So if you're a micromanager and you need to be in the weeds and all that stuff, then maybe passive investing in this way is not for you. I don't know. But if you feel that you've got to be in the weeds and all of that, you really, there's but so much you can do as a passive investor. So you're going to have to rely heavily on the sponsor to manage the asset properly. You're just going to have to do that. And if you see that they may be falling short, then of course, follow up, call them out on it, not call them out, have a discussion, check in, see what's going on, because you as a passive investor still always want to be comfortable with the deal and the way that it's being managed. The next point on the con side is no liquidity. Your money is tied up the duration of the investment period. So remember, we talked about one of the things as an passive investor you'll have to do is inquire of the sponsor. How long should I expect my money to be tied up? This is not get in and in 6 months you're pulling your money out with a return. At a minimum, it's probably 3 years. But more likely, it's probably 5 years and could even go up higher, 7, even maybe 10 years. So you're not able to pull your money out right away. You can pull money out through cash out refinance if that's in the plan, the project plan to do, the business plan to do, but that doesn't happen right away. That happens many months, sometimes years down the road. And then the final con is that you have limited options for selling your shares in the investment. Again, there's a business plan that the sponsor will share, and you have to learn the dynamics of that, or what's specified in the business plan, because that's pretty much what they're going to follow, what's in the business plan regarding you being able to get your return, your money out. So there you have it. Those are the pros and cons of multifamily syndication deals. So I hope you're still interested in it, because it's still a great way to passively invest in real estate. Now, next or last, I want to address where you can find multifamily syndication deals. You can search on crowdfunding websites that focus on real estate syndication deals. There's all types of syndications. You can syndicate, storage facilities, hotels. I mean, there's a number of ways you can do it. So you'd have to search and then see one that, or a few that appeal to you, because their focus is on multifamily syndication, if that's the route that you want to pursue. You can also search for real estate podcasts, those that focus in particular on multifamily properties. Most likely that'll lead you to some syndicators, and you can learn more about syndications through that way as well. And then you can also find local investors such as yours truly to learn more about it as well. I have mailing and email lists that I I have that I communicate with folks who've expressed interest in wanting to eventually potentially partner. And so what happens is, as deals come my way that are worth pursuing, I'll share them with this private group of investors to give them an opportunity to partner if they feel that the deal works for them. So that wraps it up for today, your Harris County Live episode. Please send me a private message if you want to join my mailing list. And as always, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Your Harris County. Until next week, take care. Bye.